Hello and welcome to the Classic Hollywood Movie You Should Know. I'm Nate Washburn. This week the movie is from 1930, All Quiet on the Western Front, released by Universal Pictures, directed by Lewis Milestone, starring Lew Ayres and Lewis Wolheim. Now, All Quiet on the Western Front is based on the book by German author Erich Maria Remarque. The gist of the story, it follows the character of Paul Baumer, played by Lew Ayres. He's this student, he's a German student, it's actually the German side of World War I. His teacher, right in the beginning, gives this impassioned speech and basically gets all of the students in the classroom, they're all male, to go and enlist. They're going to fight for Germany, they're going to save the world, and it becomes clear right from the start that the war is not this heroic adventure that these boys had thought it was. The relentless bombing, the woundings. This movie is full of graphic violence. It's shocking to see this in a movie from 1930. It came out in April of 1930. It is part of what's known as pre-code Hollywood. So starting in 1934, the production code was enforced, which eliminated graphic violence, it eliminated sex, it eliminated swearing, it eliminated all these things that, to make movies decent. All Quiet is part of like this little pre-code era until 1934, where you could get away with showing gory violence and you could show the graphic nature. I mean, in one sequence, the character of Paul has a one-night stand with this French woman. He basically trades food for sex. Like it's a really intense movie. Budgeted at $1.2 million. It was Universal's most expensive production of the year. It grossed $3.7 million. This was a massive hit, one of the most popular movies of the year. When the Academy Awards were a little different in the early years. The Academy Award ceremony actually happened in November of 1930, and All Quiet was nominated, even though it came out in April of 1930. It was nominated for 4 awards. It won 2. It won Best Director for Lewis Milestone, and it won Best Picture. This was the Best Picture of 1930. Now, All Quiet on the Western Front is an incredibly influential movie. One of the reasons why I chose to watch it recently was that I saw Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, and I read an interview that he did with his brother Jonathan where he was talking about writing the script, and he said, he commented that no war movie had done anything new since All Quiet on the Western Front in 1930. He said, and I quote, "That movie is relentless. It says everything that can be said about the horror of war." Even Steven Spielberg said that Saving Private Ryan was influenced by All Quiet on the Western Front. What's also brilliant in this movie, in the beginning, so the title is shown and then there's a little graphic, and I think it is worth reading the whole thing. I'll put it up. "This story is neither an accusation nor a confession, and least of all an adventure. For death is not an adventure to those who stand face to face with it. It will try simply to tell of a generation of men who, even though they may have escaped its shells, were destroyed by the war." That's an incredible sentiment to begin a war movie with. And I do feel that All Quiet on the Western Front is one of the best war movies that I've ever seen. So if you're a fan of war movies, if you loved Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, check out All Quiet on the Western Front from 1930. It is this week's classic Hollywood movie you should know. I'm Nate Washburn. Keep watching.